Hello, how are you feeling today? Do you know how you got Lyme disease? Well, for myself, I have a few theories, but I don't actually know for sure. And in today's video, I'm gonna go over what I think or how I think I might have gotten Lyme disease. But before I do that, I need to remind you that I am not a medical expert. Lyme disease is actually very new to me. So if you have questions, please consult your trusted professionals with your personal issues. So the first theory I have goes back to my childhood. I had a few spots on my leg, and this is after spending some time at my aunt and uncle's farm. And after some time, we did go to the doctor and they gave me some creams to treat what they said was ringworm. Well, a few months later, at this point, I'm actually 12 years of age, in the wintertime, I got sick and I was diagnosed with mono. But I have read that mono can be, or Lyme disease can be misdiagnosed with mono, which is also EBV, also known as Epstein-Barr virus. So what if possibly I didn't actually have mono, but I did have Lyme? So the few weeks of antibiotics that I did take would have helped the Lyme issue and would have made me feel better. But what if over the next 10 years, all those weird symptoms that I was still having was due to that? And maybe it was mono, but what if it wasn't? Maybe when we thought I was treating mono, again, grade 7, age 12, and usually mono is something you see in college students, right? Older teenagers. But anyway, so that is my first theory or question. My second theory is, what if it was in fact EBV that I had, or mono, when I was 12 years old, and that contributed to all the weird symptoms I was having as a teenager, which made me more susceptible to not being able to fight a future tick bite that might have had Lyme. And then, if that's the case, then maybe my EBV reactivated, my celiac disease surfaced, and then my thyroid issues, or my thyroid wasn't functioning optimally. And then with all of that going on, maybe a Lyme infection flared. But who the heck knows, right? My third theory is that in 2018, I was at a rugby field sitting in the grass, and I did feel something weird on my leg, and it was these like 3 bites on my inner thigh. And it didn't look like mosquito bites, because mosquito bites usually go away after a few days, and those 3 spots stayed on my leg for a good 3 weeks or so. And I remember it being weird enough that I did snap, a few pictures of them, because I wasn't sure what it is. And at the time, I wasn't really familiar or as familiar with Lyme disease, so it wasn't really a concern. But now with everything that is surfacing with me and my health, I remembered taking those photos, so I did go back to them and just looked at them a little bit closer. But I don't think that is where Lyme happened for me, unless this was like a second infection, which is possible. But again, I am not sure. My last theory might be the craziest one of all, or is it? But is it possible that my mom had Lyme and passed it on to me? And that perhaps made me more susceptible to getting things like EBV as a child, creating all my weird symptoms growing up? It could explain why my siblings and I have a lot of similar health symptoms. Maybe not all the same, but we have more in common than we might want to admit. I have so many questions. And I would love to hear if you know how you got Lyme disease, or if you are like me and are not really sure how all of your problems started. Why is it that so many people with Lyme also have celiac disease or thyroid disorder or other health conditions that are very similar? Does everyone that have Lyme also have mole toxicity? And for the ones that don't know, is it because they just haven't been tested yet? So I've mentioned it before, and I feel that for me, my Lyme issues are chronic. And it doesn't make it less of a problem. But even if you are not in an acute state of Lyme disease, it can truly affect your daily life. And until you can figure out how to calm things down and get better. So from what I've read, and of course also from my experience in the past few years, if you're looking to make yourself feel better without heavy long-term drugs, changing your diet would probably be the first thing I would try. It seems that many feel great relief with a gluten-free, no sugar, no dairy, no eggs, no fried or processed foods, no legumes or in moderation, or no seeds or nuts or very little, eliminating alcohol, coffee, chocolate, or any other grains, even if they are gluten-free, can also greatly help. Don't get discouraged, because it can take years to figure out what might reduce your pain and symptoms. But please don't give up, because you can get some relief by watching what you eat. So what does that leave you with? Well, it leaves you with lots of vegetables, some fruit, and anything else that you can find that doesn't cause your system to flare. And with that being said, if I ever discover new theories behind this whole Lyme mystery, I will let you know for sure. But for this week, I will leave you with these ideas, and please comment below if you would like to share how you got Lyme disease or your theories behind your situation. And if you would like to leave a longer message, I will include a link in the description to a private Facebook group, and there it will be easier to leave a longer message or send me a private message if that is better for you. So I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.